can't raise the minimum wage. Why? Because small businesses wouldn't be able to afford it. Why? Because if they had to pay people more, they wouldn't be able to have as many people, or they'd have to raise prices on products in the store. So that means more people wouldn't go to the stores anyway. Why? Because people would rather go to Walmart or someplace that has a lot more stuff for cheaper. People like cheaper stuff. Why? Because not a lot of Americans have a great amount of disposable income. Why? Because minimum wage is only $7 an hour.
There's one thing Republicans are good at, it's misunderstanding things. And this TikTok does an excellent job of demonstrating that. Just by asking some very basic questions, we can get to the bottom of things really quick. And Republicans tend to not ask those questions. Instead of looking at things at a systemic level and realizing that, wait a minute, we have a consumer-based economy, maybe workers are also consumers. And perhaps wages need to be high in order for our economy to work. Because higher wages means more spending. But of course these Republicans would much rather we spend money without making it, because that would mean paying workers. But the reality is, a lot of Republicans who go out of their way to say that the minimum wage should be lower are really just making a value judgment. They think that the people that do the jobs that pay minimum wage are worth less than they are. I mean, let's be super real. The reason why Republicans want other people to be paid less is because they want to feel like they're better than somebody. And because of that, they don't feel like going through all of the logical steps of how our economy works and realizing that maybe we need a higher minimum wage. They'd rather just feel superior to somebody, and so it's easier not to really think too much about your policies or ideas. Like, for example, Republicans very often will tout this idea that somehow if we decrease taxes on corporations, they'll magically pay more in taxes because economic growth is going to be that much more. But if you ask why the economic growth would be that much more, their entire logic starts falling apart. The reality is that companies end up spending more money on investment and employees when tax rates are high, because it turns out that investing in things like research and development and employee benefits not only increase the value of the company, but also give some pretty sweet tax breaks that companies like to take advantage of. So the higher the baseline tax rate is, the more an incentive these companies have to hire more people. That is what would stimulate economic growth. But Republicans have a fundamentally short-sighted view of the economy and can only see to this next quarter. And so they want the money now. They want these higher profits now. They don't want to think about long-term growth or economic stability. They just want it now. Which is why it's so easy for TikTokers to break apart the ideas of right-wingers in just a few minutes. Just ask a right-winger why we can't give homeless people houses. We have plenty of empty houses and apartments across the country. And all in all, odds are it would end up being a lot cheaper than our current systems to support homeless folks, which are fundamentally inadequate. So ask these right-wingers, hey, why can't we just give these people homes? And you'll basically get some sort of argument that boils down to something, people need to work hard, something. But even just the slightest line of questioning will reveal that not only if you are homeless is it incredibly difficult to get a job, but there's a lot of homeless people who literally do have jobs today, and they're homeless because they are not paid enough to afford a place to live. Add in the fact that landlords are artificially inflating rents across the country, where we have countless homeless folks while also having way more empty houses. This is Ben Carollo with Rebel Headquarters. You can catch my show Galaxy Brain on the Young Turks Twitch channel every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to stay up to date with my content.